In this video, I'm going to show you my top 5 meal prep tools. I've been doing this for a few years now, and it's taken me some time to figure out what process works best for me. So whether or not you're completely new to meal prep or you've been doing it for a little bit of time, hopefully you can gain some information from this video. And yeah, everything you see here, I use every week. I'm going to get into it, and I'm going to put the links down in the description of the video. So check them out if you want to. But yeah, let's get right into what I like about these. Starting off with something a little out of the ordinary, and that is the meat thermometer. Now, if you're new to meal prep, new to cooking in general, I highly recommend picking one of these up. I eat a lot of chicken, and when I first started cooking it, my biggest fear was undercooking it. As a result, I overcooked it, and it came out rubbery, it tasted horrible. The meat thermometer will eliminate all of that guesswork. There's actually a chart on here which is very handy because it just lists what you're cooking. For example, beef, you want to hit at least 135 degrees Fahrenheit or 57 degrees Celsius. For chicken, you've got 165 degrees Fahrenheit and 74 degrees Celsius. So it eliminates all of that guesswork. It makes cooking the chicken or meat very easy. And yeah, you won't have to deal with that overcooked food, which is just going to turn out very dry. With chicken, it's horrible if it's overcooked. It's going to be rubbery, it's going to be chewy. So yeah, cooked chicken perfect every time. I'll also use this when I'm doing salmon on the grill. I'll normally buy like a pound of salmon at a time, throw that on the grill, and there's always like a thicker part of the salmon, and that's where this can really help because I don't mess around with undercooking fish. I don't want to get sick. On here it says for fish 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. If you're new to cooking in general and you have no idea how long to cook things for, this just eliminates the guesswork, whether you're using the oven, the grill, the frying pan, or something like that. Next up, we have the slow cooker or the crock pot, whatever you want to call it. This is perfect for making large quantities of food. Again, I'll throw my chicken in here. Depending on how I planned out my day, either 4 hours on high or 8 hours on low. I'll normally do the 8 hours overnight. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible for making just a lot of meat for the week. Because yeah, if you tried to do 2 pounds of beef or chicken in the frying pan, for example, that would just take so long and be kind of annoying and make a mess. You wouldn't be able to fit 2 pounds of meat or chicken in your frying pan to begin with. So that's where this can help. The one downside to the slow cooker, I'll say, is that you kind of need to know ahead of time because at the minimum, this is going to take like 3 to 4 hours. So you just kind of want to plan out your day around that. This is definitely not like a last minute option. I'll normally do chicken or pork in here. Just throw it in with some spices. You can also do chicken broth, barbecue sauce, salsa. There's tons of ways that you can season your chicken or beef. So definitely recommend the crock pot. And yeah, I like this one because it has a glass lid so you can just kind of take a look in there and see when your food's done, if it's almost done, whatever. The laziest approach I do is when I throw my chicken in, I'll do the seasoning on top. And I don't coat it all the way. I know you can do that in a bag or something, but I'll just do the seasoning on top. And then when there's about a half an hour left, I'll just take a fork and I'll just kind of shred the chicken up, mix it around, and then everything is seasoned perfectly and it's all evenly coated. So yeah, the crock pot is a big must if you are a lazy cook, if you want the least amount of work. Moving on to the blender. I've got a Ninja here. You can get whatever you want, but I like this because it has like an individual container. So if I'm in a rush, I'm going to the gym in the morning, you know, I'll make a protein shake, throw it in my car, and then after the gym, I have this ready to go. As opposed to like a more traditional blender where you have, you know, a much larger container. You don't need all that food. I've had this for a while. I think this is an outdated model. They probably have a newer one released. The thing with the Ninja, you need to remember is that you put everything in, there's a max fill line, and you definitely don't want to go above that because then there's just going to be too much in here. It's not going to blend up. But you put everything in, then it goes upside down and you blend it like that. This is perfect for protein shakes, smoothies, anything like that. Super easy if you're on the go and you just want to hit a quick meal, get your macros in. And I am a believer in eating carbohydrates. So next up, this is a rice cooker. This is another very simple way to make your rice as opposed to doing it on the stovetop. I'll normally do like 2 cups of rice with 4 cups of water. It works great for white rice, brown rice, jasmine rice, pretty much any kind of rice you want. This is my second one I've gotten. I like this a lot better than the first version I had because it has a glass lid, which is really cool because you can just look into it and see when your rice is almost done. The first rice cooker I had, it did not have a glass lid. You couldn't see into it, which was kind of annoying, so I definitely recommend not getting one of those. And then also another tip, just make sure you get something that is big enough. So on the inside of here, it says it goes up to 8 cups or 3 liters. If you're making a bunch of rice for the week, you definitely want a larger rice cooker. I think this is somewhere in the middle, but avoid just getting the smallest one because if you're prepping rice for the week, that's just not gonna last for a long time. So yeah, you measure out your rice, you can rinse it in here, fill it up with water, and then just set it, and it's good to go. This also has a function where it'll stay warm, which is super convenient. If you're prepping other food, you know, your rice will stay warm, it'll be ready for dinner or whatever. So yeah, between these two things, the slow cooker and the rice cooker, that's, you know, the majority of your food right there. If you're gonna have an animal protein, a carbohydrate, and then you just need a veggie. So if you just get these two things, you're good to go. And last but not least, we have our meal prep containers. Once all that food is cooked up and ready to eat, you're gonna need to put it somewhere, whether that be the refrigerator, the freezer. And there are two options when it comes to the containers, two main options, I should say, plastic and glass. Now with plastic, you can go with more of a traditional, like a takeout container approach. These are pretty cheap. Honestly, they break really easily. I've cracked the black piece by just removing a lid. So I don't really recommend them, but you can do it, I guess, if you don't care about that. Now this holds 4 cups. This is more of like a heavier duty plastic container, but it's a little smaller. This holds 3 cups. But what I like about this one is that it has a snappable lid. So you can see there, it's not going anywhere. Or you can choose a glass container. I actually don't know the volume on here, but it does say 7 by 5 by 1.5. Plastic or glass, do whatever one you want. Been kind of choosing more glass lately. So when it comes to meal prep containers, I think the main thing you want to look for is the size. So like I said, this is 4 cups, this is 3 cups. You just want to make sure it's big enough to hold your food for that meal. If you buy too small of a size and then you start prepping your meals and you're like, oh, I should have gotten a bigger container. Just keep that in mind. Maybe just buy one, and then if that works, buy some more. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Again, these are the 5 things I definitely recommend. I would get them if I were starting over with meal prep. I think just make the process a lot easier. And honestly, I use all of these products every week. I'll link them in the description below. And yeah, thanks for watching.